Hey guys. So, I had a YouTube channel before. I didn't really do a whole lot with, but I think I want to dedicate my YouTube channel to um, my disease and what I go through every day. Every day is different. Nothing is ever the same. And that's what I love about it. Love and hate, I guess, because you don't know what to really expect. So a little bit of a background, and then I'm eventually going to do a video on like my supplies and what I get, and like all my medications and how I organize them and things like that. So basically, my name is Stacey, and I am a 30-year-old. I was diagnosed with mild rheumatoid arthritis in May of 2017, so May 26th is the exact day, right before my 29th birthday. So I had struggled before that for a good 3 years with pain, specifically in my hand joints. So specifically the joints down here, the metacarpal phalange, like these ones. Don't know what they're called. I think they're MPs, metacarpal phalanges, I think is what they're called. So I struggled a lot with that. I struggled a lot with the arthritis in my thumbs. My hips were affected, and eventually both of my feet were affected from it. Just out of the blue, randomly, somewhere along the line, I woke up and just had trouble walking in the morning. My hips, it just kind of slowly started from my hands, and it kind of worked its way down. So nothing worked anymore. Over the counter stuff didn't work. So I finally talked to my doctor, and she said, "Yeah, let's go to a rheumatologist." Went to a rheumatologist. The first visit, took my history and just family history and how long I've dealt with this and what it's like and all that good stuff. And finally, he started talking to me about rheumatoid arthritis, and I went, whoa, time out. I'm like, are you saying I have rheumatoid arthritis or what? And he's like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think you have a mild case of it. Probably doesn't feel very mild, but I believe that we caught it in a good enough time that, we could treat it and your prognosis is pretty good. So he talked to me about the basics of that. He started me on diclofenac, which is an anti-inflammatory. I waited 3 months and I went back. So May, June, July. Actually, I went back in July. It wasn't quite 3 months. So I went back in July, and I said, well, diclofenac's really not doing a whole lot for me. And he said, all right, well, we're going to start you on Plaquenil in addition to the diclofenac. And I'm like, okay. So the Plaquenil is an immunosuppressant. It's also a treatment for malaria. 200 milligrams a day is the starting dose, twice a day. And he said, we're gonna put you on this. It's very mild. It's doesn't have a whole lot of side effects. You can stay on it whenever if you want to have more kids, so it's good for people in childbearing years. And I'm like, oh, well, that's really great. So I started taking that. I went back in October, and everything was going well. Actually, the medicine had started working about a month and a half in, and it was making me feel good. I could do more, all that. So we just continued medication as is. I went back in January. Sorry, I have to think about that. I went back January this year, January 10th, and I said, I'm still feeling a lot of fatigue. I'm feeling like there's still a lot of inflammation. I said, I don't know what to do. The Plaquenil is doing its job, but I think there's just more there that needs. So based on my current blood work and based on, the rapid 3, because my rheumatologist gives a rapid 3 every time you go. So basically in the last week, what are you feeling? And I had a higher score than I ever had. And my sedimentation rate in my blood went up quite a bit. So he said, well, I think now we've moved to a moderate rheumatoid arthritis, and I think I'm going to start you on Humira, or you can do, which is a self-injection you do once every 2 weeks. And I said, okay, well, what's the other option? And he said, you could come in and get an infusion. And I'm like, that's like a 45-minute drive one way to get to the doctor for me. So I'm like, I'm not going to go get infusions. I'll just do a self-injection and just learn to deal with it. So I started in February on Humira in addition to Plaquenil, in addition to the diclofenac. And that has helped even more tremendously. And so that's been my medication regimen since like the beginning of the year, all of those. Plus, I'm taking Lexapro for anxiety. I developed anxiety from a lot of other things that happened in my life. But my RA and not feeling well and all that had a lot to do with it too. And then I have recently joined like groups on Facebook, connected with other people that have similar issues. And, it's just nice to know that you're not alone. And it is nice to have sort of a support system, even if it's people you don't know. Like, it's great. And they kind of know where you're coming from because they have the same thing. So that's basically my history. Like, I haven't had it that long. It's only been a little over a year since I've been diagnosed. But in that year, it's been like a roller coaster. Not to mention there have been a lot of personal things that have went on. My dad's been in and out of the hospital. My mom passed away in January from cancer. So there's been a lot of different things and a lot of stress. And there's just been a lot of different things that have gone on lately. And, it's good that I got it under control like I did, because I think it would be so much worse. And I would hate to see what the prognosis is later on if I don't do something now. So I think the next time I shoot a video for this channel, subscribe to my channel, and I'm going to try to keep up with, doing stuff for rheumatoid arthritis and autoimmunity. And, if you want to see anything in particular, have any particular questions, I will try to do a video of it, but please make sure you hit subscribe. I just don't think that RA is something that most people know about, and I think that it's time to sort of bring that to light, even looking on YouTube at like, RA awareness videos or my life story videos. Like, there's not a whole lot with RA. So, I'm definitely wanting to change that, like definitely going to be a pioneer on that front. So, but anyway, guys, subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed my little history of me, and I will see you next time.